Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about cats. So if you do not have a cat and you don't really have a pet or you don't really care for animals, then this video is probably not for you. But I would assume that you clicked this video because you guys do like animals because of the title. So hopefully you guys are here for the your passion and love for animals. Meet Simba. This is my little Simba. He's in a playful mood right now, so he wants to play, so I'm not gonna hold him up too long. But this video is just gonna be going over the basics of raising a cat or kitten, some things you just need to know, and these are just things I've observed just from having a cat for almost a month, or has it been a month? So yeah, and you guys see that, just a month or barely a month, and I already know so much because let's just say that takes a lot of time, patience, dedication. They need a lot, just like a human baby would need a lot of time, attention, and patience. So does a kitten. So let's go over the first one. So I wrote down a few points of things that I wanted to talk about, and just really important things that you need to know before you adopt a kitten or raise a kitten or a cat. Or any animal really. I feel like a lot of these do apply to certain animals, but especially kittens and cats. I am not a cat expert. Disclaimer, I am not a veterinarian. I am not a cat expert. I am not, what's his name? Jackson somebody, what's his name? Jackson, the cat guy. You guys know who I'm talking about. If you guys have a cat or know about him, he is really, really great. You guys can look him up too. He has really, really good points and videos and all different kinds of stuff. I've only seen one video from him, but I just know that he's a cat expert and he has tons of videos on cats. But these are just things that I've observed myself or researched because I was curious and I wanted to know, because I wanted to make sure that I was being the best cat mom that I could be and all that good stuff. So let's jump into it, guys, because I like to talk. So if you guys are new here, definitely hit that subscribe button if you guys want to hear more of me talking. This video might be a little bit boring, but I just wanted to educate some of you guys because I had to quickly educate myself, and I just feel like it's really important, and you might not even know some of these things. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that you need to be patient, like I said. So being patient with a cat is very hard for some and then easy for others. If you're a nurturing person, you're loving, kind, caring, and you're patient, then it might be easier for you. But what that means with a cat is cats are very, very busy. They like to run around a lot. They like to play a lot. They like to get into any little thing they can get into. They will be following you around constantly. And so they might be annoying to you or to some people, right? They love to grab you and they like to bite, okay? That's something that is mistaken or misunderstood to many pet owners, that they're trying to harm you or hurt you. But really, cats are just trying to play. They want your attention. They want you to play with them, and that's just how they play, because that's how they played with their siblings or litter mates. And the thing is, most cats are separated from their mom before they're old enough to understand that bites hurt, and so they will definitely do that with their owner. So it is really important that if you're going to adopt a cat, to see, you know, when is the best time to adopt them, if they're old enough and they have learned those things. Otherwise, you will have to be patient and train your cat. So that is actually something I'm trying to do, because I got my cat when he was 5-6 weeks old. So yes, he was very, very young, very tiny, and he was not properly trained that bites hurt yet. So when I got him, he was biting a lot. He still bites a lot, but he's doing better because I've been trying to train him a little bit. And if you want more videos on training and stuff, I am not an expert, so I would definitely check out Jackson or whatever his name is. I'm so sorry, can't remember his name. Check out some other cat experts or ask your vet. Obviously, always go to your vet first, and find out what are the best methods that you can use to train your pet. Okay, so that's one thing. you have to be very forgiving because they will probably cut you, scratch you, bite you, and your initial thought is probably to take out your anger on them. But guys, just be patient. They're so sweet and they don't mean any harm, guys. Their natural instinct is to hunt prey, so they're always going to be like pouncing on you, and you know, it's just the cutest thing ever, and they will accidentally hurt you plenty of times. I have some scratches on my hand right now. Some of them you can't really see on camera, and that is all normal, guys. You should not let it continuously happen. You should train them some way, like I said. You can look up the best methods of training. I don't really want to give you advice on that because I'm following some things I researched, but I'd rather you just, you know, research that yourself because that's a big deal. So I would just research that separately because I don't want to really give you advice on exactly how to train your cat because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing because I'm still trying to figure out the best method right now. So just putting that out there. Okay, the next thing. So a lot of people say that cats are comparable to human babies. And that is because they need to be fed, they need to be nurtured, loved, cared for. You need to have patience with them. They also go through stages of teething and all those things, just like a real baby, guys. So they do need a lot of time and attention, and you have to be patient with them and love them. Buy them lots of toys. There's lots and lots of cat toys. They're very cheap. I actually got a huge bag of cat toys. I think it was like 13 toys or maybe more, and it was like $1.99, and that was just at like my local Publix. So you guys can find tons of different cat toys for cheap online, bags of them, sets of them, and just have tons of little toys. You can even make your own toys. My husband made this really adorable homemade toy for the cat, and all he did was cut out a door in a box, and he put his little bed in there, and he hung a little mouse, in front of the door, and our cat loves it. So, and my cat's name is Simba, by the way, so just saying. I'll insert that video right here of my husband, of the box my husband made for our cat Simba. And yeah, so yes, so make your own toys, guys. There's plenty of different things you can look up or just come up with just by seeing them go in the box. I literally bought some, sorry, I say literally a lot. I bought some of these, a box of these. It came with 12 in there, and I put the box on the floor, not thinking anything of it. After I put them in the fridge, obviously, I left the box out on the floor to put it in recycling later on, and I saw him in it like an hour later. So they love little small places like that. So make sure you have some kind of private space that they can go in, so they can feel safe, they can feel enclosed, and not out in the open, especially if they're new to your home. But even if they are used to your home, they're gonna want to have their own little private quarters. So make sure they have some kind of space, even an old box or something that you guys have. They like to go under beds, they like to go in bathrooms, all those things. Just make sure that those are safe places for them and that there's nothing that's going to harm them. Make sure your toilet seat's closed. Make sure they don't have access to indoor closets with cleaning supplies or things on the floor that could harm them or hurt them. So just make sure that they have all those nice spaces for them. The next thing I want to talk about is litter boxes, okay? So you're definitely going to want to get a litter box. If you have a small apartment, like I have a 1-bedroom apartment, I just have one litter box. If you have a big house, I would look into getting more than one, because that way the cat will have a place to go if they're upstairs or downstairs, or, you know, you don't want their litter boxes too crazy far apart because you don't want them to have any accidents. Although cats are very good at holding their pee and their, you know, they're really good at holding their bodily fluids, so just keep that in mind. But there are some cats that might not be able to hold them as well, so just keep that in mind as well, and just make sure that they're happy, healthy, and safe, and that they always have, they always know where their litter boxes are. Try not to switch up their litter box too often, unless you're making sure that they know exactly where it is at all times, okay? Try to have a consistent routine with them as well. That also helps them get into the habit of knowing exactly where things are, like keep their food, their water, and their litter boxes all in the same places so that they immediately know where they're going, especially at night when you're sleeping and you don't want to be bothered or woken up. They already know where all their things are. That is super important when having a kitten, cat, animal in your home. Definitely make sure that they're comfortable and know where everything is. Also, with the litter box, make sure it is in a private space or corner somewhere in the room, so that they feel like they have some privacy, because as you guys might already know, cats are very, very, very clean animals. They like their space, they like their privacy. They don't like to be, it's almost like they don't like to be embarrassed. Like, I notice when my cat uses the bathroom, obviously cats are clean. They dig a little hole, they do their business, and they cover it back up, and then they sniff the area. They sniff the area to make sure that you can't really smell it, that it's nice and clean, and that it's, covered up well. So that's a great thing about cats too, which I love and appreciate about them. I think they're such amazing animals. So that's another thing to keep in mind. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna try to quickly go through everything else. If you guys have other questions, leave them down below, and if I don't know how to answer them, then I'll definitely research and come back and share with you guys what I found. Okay, food. So my cat is very picky. So in the beginning, I was feeding my kitten wet food, obviously, but when I went to the vet suggested leaving out some dry food throughout the day for my cat to snack on, or whenever they get hungry, they have access to fresh food all day long. So I started buying the dry food like the vet recommended, and my cat ate it for the first couple days, and then they just stopped completely eating it. He would just not eat it for some reason. So I bought a different brand of cat food that seemed to work out, but then it was the same kind of pattern. So then I started mixing the wet food with the dry food, and he would eat that up. And then I have, like, every Friday I give him wet food. So things like that, try to switch things up and see what they like. Obviously you don't want to always be mixing the wet and dry food, because you don't want them to get sick or get diarrhea, but you do want to try to get them in the habit of trying to get used to the dry food and things like that. So just keep that in mind. Switch it up, buy little treats, give them a treat here and there. When you're training them, that's a perfect time to give them treats if they do well, or just because you want to be sweet to your kitten and give them treats. As far as food, like human food, I try not to give my cat human food, but on special occasions I will make certain things. Like my husband and I made just plain eggs. You don't cook it in anything, you just cook it, scramble it on the stove, no salt, no oil, no nothing. You just cook it up and scramble it up and let it cool off, and then give it to them. They love it. It's a good treat for them, and I say treat because you do not want to feed your cat that every single day, but it is a nice treat for them every once in a while. There's also other safe cat or human-friendly cat foods that you guys can look into to give them. Make sure you do plenty of research on that, because like I said, they can have a lot of internal issues or digestive issues if you do give them the wrong things, and never give them too much of it either, obviously. Okay, moving on from food. We talked a little bit about biting. Yes, just be very patient with your cat. Try and train them with a toy or something like that. I know I was gonna say what I do, but always redirect them in a positive way rather than a negative way. So positive reinforcement is really important when training your cat. Okay, grooming. Your cat will probably eventually start grooming you. They groom themselves to keep themselves clean. Like I said, they're very clean animals, and eventually they will groom you. It's not anything creepy. Just be prepared that they will start licking you, and they just want you to clean you too. They're just creating a social bond. They love you. So don't be weirded out by that. That's completely normal. If you guys have any more questions about grooming, let me know. Changes and pattern. I have that on my list. What do I have that on my list for? That was kind of with the food, noticing changes and patterns with their eating. In the very beginning, I actually was writing down exactly what times my cat ate so that I would be prepared to give them food at the same times, just to get them into a routine. So if you need to do that in the beginning, just jot down what time. So in the beginning, my cat was eating really, really early in the morning at like 6 o'clock or 6:45, and that was too early for me. So I decided to change my routine and start feeding him a little bit later on, like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and that kind of worked out better. And then I kept on doing it every day at the same time. And I would give him, he eats about 3 times a day, I would say, sometimes more, sometimes less. But it really just depends. But he's a growing kitten, so that's expected. That's completely normal. As cats get older, they eat a little bit less, or you want to feed them a little bit less because you don't want them to be too overweight. So just also keep that in mind. Vet visits and shots. Make sure that you're taking your kitten to the vet on their recommended days that they need to go. Once they go in the beginning, I believe it's 3 times as a kitten. Like when they're first starting out, you take them 3 different times, and once they've gotten all their shots, you just take them back once a year, I believe. So just keep that in mind as well. Vet visits can be very expensive, so that is another thing you need to keep in mind is cost. So cats are very costly. Again, they're similar to human babies that cost a lot of money. Of course, human babies cost a lot more, but cats are very expensive, guys. You have to keep up with their food, their maintaining their shots and all those good things, their visits, and they can get sick just like you or I, so you have to be prepared to take them to the vet for different things. So keep all these things in mind, guys. I am going to go ahead and stop the video here. If you guys want a part 2, or if you have any questions about kittens or cats in general, just put the comment down below and I'll do my best to answer it. Like I said, I'm not a cat expert, but this is just, a lot of these things are just things I've observed in having my own cat for the past month or so. And I also used to have a cat before as well. So I do have experience with cats, but I had an outdoor cat, and an outdoor cat versus an indoor cat is a whole different ball game, guys. So that's another thing too that I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video. But yes, so indoor cats are completely different. Not in the fact they need different needs, but they don't rely on you as much as an indoor cat. They're a lot more independent. So just wanted to put that out there. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. I will see you guys next time. Bye.